Today we're going to look at a fragrance from Roja Dove. It's a 2019, it's one of the cologne editions. If you're interested, stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's Peter from Centrail. It's good to see you again. If this is your first time, I want to give you a warm welcome. Good to have you with us. On this channel, we talk about fragrances. Designers, perfumers, niche, so on and so forth. Pretty much anything that turns around the world of fragrance. So if you're into fragrances or you just want to smell great, consider subscribing. Love, like, share, all those wonderful things. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank you in advance, and now let's get into an enigma. Roja Dove is an English perfumer that was born in southeast England and has worked for a fragrance company called Guerlain for over 20 years. He himself started his career in 1981, and in 2011, Roja Dove started his own fragrance line called Roja Parfums. Today the word or the name Roja Dove is synonymous with luxury. Roja had the most successful fragrance launch ever at Harrods. He's also known for working with nothing but the best quality of ingredients for his fragrances. In doing so, has garnered him a name from New York Times, a master tailor of scent, and GQ named him the greatest nose in the world. In 2021, Roja Dove has over 130 fragrances, and it is still growing. Today we will look at a fragrance from 2019. It is from the Parfum Cologne collection, and it is ENIGMA, or Creation E as it is called in America. Yes, it is called ENIGMA in Europe, and it is called Creation E in America. The correct definition for enigma is a person or thing that is mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand. The bottle that I have is Creation E, even though I did buy it from Canada. And let's take a look at the bottle. It comes in a black square bottle. This is 100 milliliter right here. You got Roja Parfums on the front, Roja's signature right here, and it says Parfum Cologne. And on the back, you will find some ingredients, Parfum Cologne. It says, a fragrance by Roja Dove, 51 Burlington Acre, Mayfair, London. Made in England by rojaparfums.com. And you got some ingredients right here. And so this fragrance, when you first get it like this, it slides out, but there's a little hole in the bottom, and you can literally just push it up, and the fragrance will open on top. It's beautifully done. I think that's what it's for. And as you lift it out, as you lift it up, the fragrance sits right in the center here. Put that right there. And it's actually quite heavy, and it's a beautiful fragrance. The color is gorgeous, and the bottle itself, as we'll just see in a minute, is really heavy. So let's take it out. And it sits on a nice square bed, very snug on the inside, little sort of plush velvet covering. Beautiful presentation. And it says Creation E on here. Parfum Cologne, Roja Parfums, and on the fragrance by Roja Dove on the back, made in England. Bottom we have a sticker, nothing is edged in, and it says Roja Dove Limited, England, 41 New England Street, Brighton, and it's 100 ml or 3.4 ounce. As we take the top off, it is a metal top. The signature is, Roja's signature is on top of the cap. And I think there's also a signature on the side right here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to zoom in or something later. Yeah, and this one just sits right on top. I don't know if you can hear this, but it just kind of slides on top. There is no clicking noise. It just sits on top. So don't pick it up like this because you will drop it. Now the bottle is very heavy. I doubt it'll break if it hits the ground on carpet or anything like that, but you don't want it to hit tile or concrete or anything like that because it will shatter. So don't pick it up by the cap. It's really beautifully done. Give it a spray and see how we're doing. Nice, soft spray, full enough. I think I wore this today, and I did 3 sprays, one left right arm and one in the center of the chest. And that was really plenty, even though this is the Parfum Cologne edition, but that was really plenty for, and we're in the 40s today. So it was plenty. 3 sprays is all it took for this fragrance to last quite a while. Creation E or Enigma is the perfect name for this fragrance. To my nose, Creation E is not purely for men. It is marketed towards men, but I think that a woman could totally pull this fragrance off because of its sparkly, somewhat effervescent nature when it first opens. It's really quite beautiful. It's not a floral, but it's more like a bouquet of flowers, jasmine, you have some neroli, you have some geranium in there. You got a hint of bergamot from the very top. And there's also a powdery rose, but it's not a rose fragrance. But it's definitely like a bouquet of flowers all sort of mixed together with a sweet, bubbly vibe from the very top. The aldehydes from the rose, from the powdery rose, and the bergamot give this fragrance an incredibly big sparkle. I mean, it's something that you have to smell for yourself. It is quite unique how a fragrance can smell like bubbles, like a soda bubble. It's great. Most people, when they talk about Roja Dove's Creation E, this is the cologne version, of course, but when they talk about the Creation E or Enigma, they talk about Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper or something in that sort. And there is, as we'll see in just a minute, there is some sweetness in there that I can understand why it lends itself to that kind of analogy. As Creation E or Enigma cologne dries down, it becomes even more magical, as if it isn't already. It's a truly magical scent. There's some smooth vanilla, some cognac. There's also some tobacco in this fragrance. And the vanilla is strengthened in the back, a little bit more of a backbone of benzoin, which is also often used to strengthen the sweetness and has a vanilla vibe. There's also some pepper in here. There's some cardamom and there's some ginger to keep the fragrance from going too sweet to my nose. So it never gets really sweet. The bubbly nature of the soda vibe of the Dr. Pepper or Coke or something kind of maintains itself. The tobacco gives it a nice, sweet, comfortable feeling. And the vanilla is just all the way around. True, gorgeous fragrance. I wore this fragrance this morning, and the ambergris, the real ambergris in this fragrance, the dry down, turns this Creation E cologne into a compliment monster for me. I mean, absolutely incredible. I left to work this morning. I got 2 compliments on the way to work. No kidding. And I had got 3 on the way home. I mean, absolutely incredible, if you can believe that. But the dry down is just truly stellar. I sprayed this one on my arm here and here, and I sprayed one in sort of onto the side of the chest, not in the center, but on the side. I got compliments wearing an overcoat on the way home from work today in 40 degrees outside. And a person next to me told me that I smelled amazing. What is it? That's radiating through the coat. It's coming through here, I guess, and they got a whiff of it. So the sillage or the protection of this fragrance with only 3 sprays in cold weather is still amazing. That only makes me wonder. This is the cologne edition that I have here, the Parfum Cologne. That makes me wonder, what would the perfume do? I don't have the perfume, but truly by the compliments I got on this one today, it makes me want to run out and spend the luxury dollars on getting the perfume version. I mean, if you have it and you know a comparison, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and see what you think. To myself, all day, wearing it at work, it never became overwhelming. I got constant whiffs of the fragrance and I really enjoyed them. It always felt pleasant and I always felt like it smelled elegant. Roja Dove Creation E, the cologne version, is worth the luxury price. I bought this for around $250 from Canada, and I wasn't quite sure at first, but once I got it and once I started wearing it, to me, it is well worth the price. I mean, you get noticed and people love it, and it smells good, at least on me, all day long. Love the dry down. And the bubbly opening is it's fun is what it is. To me, a fragrance that you could wear all year long, a little bit older maybe, 25 and up, unless you're really super well dressed and you can carry it younger, no problem at all. I think a woman could pull this off. It is not completely masculine. The tobacco is not overwhelming. It is a beautiful scent. It leans a little bit on the masculine side, I would say, but I think it would be completely wearable by a woman. I think you could wear this anytime, anywhere. A little easy in the summer perhaps on the trigger, maybe just one if it's really hot outside. But this fragrance, in my opinion, is signature scent worthy. And here's a little something that Roja said. I shortened it a little bit. These are not my words. I wish they were, because they truly speak as if I were thinking them. Fragrance stops us in our tracks. It brings tears to our eyes and smiles to our faces. How can anyone not love perfumery? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got anything out of this at all, please do consider subscribing. Love, like, share, all those wonderful things. I loved spending time with you. I'm glad you were here. Until next time, I want you to take good care of yourself. Always smell nice, and I'll talk to you soon. Until then, Central